The adjustment for these shoes is this snout, I think they call it a snout cam, and it goes onto that peg. So that peg will go onto there, and there's quite a large nut at the back here, and that's the adjustment. So obviously as it wears, you just adjust this, take the adjustment up with that. This hexagon on the back is quite a large hexagon, and it's an odd size because I tried a 3/4 AF spanner on there and it's too loose. So the next one down is 11/16, and that won't go on. So I tried the same with metric, I think it was 18mm, and that was the same. So it's turned out that this is a BS size. So this spanner is a 3/8 Whitworth or a 7/16 BS, which is not used nowadays, but that does fit on there. If I can get it on there, it does actually. Yeah, that fits on there nice. So yeah, I don't know why they've used a British standard size. So British standard isn't measured across the flats, it goes by the diameter of the screw. So this is for a 7/16 BS screw, BSF, which is a bit weird. Now both the springs on the front are identical, not like the rear, they're identical, and they attach to the back plate from that hole and that hole. You can't remove these when the hub is on, so I've just shown you this before I put it back. So that end goes onto the back plate like that, and this end faces towards the back plate in that direction like that, and you can only fit these when the hub is off. So these shoes contact the back plate on that point there and that point there, and what I like to do is just put a tiny little dab of copper slip on there, very, very small, so it's not dry metal to metal, and that won't get onto the shoe. That'll be fine. Okay, so the spring goes in this hole here, and it's best if you put this end in first, and you can do it with your hands. So you just go down like that, and then make sure that's in there. That's in now. And the same with the top one. That goes into the cylinder. Put that on there. Put the long end in first, or the short end in first, like that, and then just lift it up like that. And that's it. So now that peg is on that snout cam, and you wind it towards you to adjust it up. That's the adjustment. And notches on here stop this moving, but there's also a spring washer under here that makes this tight, and you can get kits to replace these as well. You see these on the internet a lot. That's the adjustment. So now make sure they're down as far as they can go. Yeah, that's down. Right. You've got to be a bit careful because these snout cams can push it that way, and then you won't be able to get the hub on. So you can go back a bit and push that back. So now it's going to take some jiggling to get that on. So what I might do is just try the hub on first, make sure you see that goes on nice. Make sure that's all kind of lined up. And now I can put the hub on. That. I'll leave that finger tight for now and try the hub on, the drum. Oh, that's going. That's quite good. Sometimes it doesn't line up, but that's fine. Right, even though I've done that hole, that screw up, it doesn't mean to say it's laying flat. It could be laying this way. It could be a gap here. And now what you do, you put the wheel back. Right, so now the drum is pulled up nice, and the shoes are not touching at all. So now it's time to adjust these taper bearings. And you know, there's a big nut on there, but don't put a spanner, because if you over tighten that nut, the bearings are going to get hot and it's just going to wear the bearings out. And then you do it up by hand and it runs nice. But when you do that, I don't know if you can hear that, it's knocking, so that's too loose. So you get the pliers and you turn it until you don't hear that knocking anymore. Still a little bit there, but then you've got to line up the holes. There's two holes. There's one hole going that way and one hole going that way. So you have a choice of what you do. There's a tiny little bit of rock in there. The problem is that I'm halfway between holes, so that goes in. So I'm going to leave it like that. That goes in. I might be able to turn it a little bit more. Right. So that's good now. Can't feel any play in there, and it's running nice with the new bearings. It's really nice. So you shouldn't be able to hear anything. If you can hear it, that means the bearings are worn out. So now I can bend up the split pin. I'll just knock it up like that. Lock the other one up like that. So that's done. And I will put some oil in here, some grease in here, but not too much. Don't fill these up. I've seen these filled up with grease. I don't think there's any need. But there is that, you know, that and inside acts like a kind of a reservoir of grease, because it will get spun out. And these always get dented, but as long as they seal. I've also seen cars that have been driven and these leak, and I've seen grease marks come up like that, so you know, if you see that, there's too much grease in there. So that's perfect now. That's a good job done. So that's all done. It took much longer than I thought because I didn't expect to change those bearings. Luckily I managed to get the bearings and the seals and everything went well on there. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time.